everybody. How are you today? This is Ruth Ratliff, voice and vibrational sound professional, and I'm here today with the wonderful Heather O'Neill, who is an energy alignment coach and an energy worker. Welcome, Heather. I am so excited to talk to you today.
Thank you, Ruth. Thanks for having me. And I always love talking with you too. We always have such incredible conversations, don't we?
Yes, yes. And that was one of the things that, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this video is because it is, we start talking and what did we say that one time? We should be recording this.
Yes. Yeah. That's what gave me the idea for mine.
Sure, but give your show a plug.
So it's called Conscious Conversations and literally was born out of you and I talking and was born out of last year meeting people and having to do it online over Zoom. And, like you and I constantly talk about it being such a shiftful, and then we laugh because it sounds like something else, shiftful time. And really having these incredible conversations with like-minded people really, really got me through it. Really, it kept me grounded. It kept reminding me, not to get mired and get stuck in the fear and to pull back and really stay from the spiritual standpoint and the kind of higher consciousness standpoint of what was happening. And so this thought kept coming to me like, these conversations are so good. People should hear them. Great. It's on Rumble. And anyone can find it just by typing in Conscious Conversations in Rumble. It comes up. So it's been great.
Today, what we were thinking of doing is that we both we met in person, which was really wonderful. Heather lives a couple hours away from me, almost, not quite, but quite
about an hour.
Yeah,
about an hour. Yeah,
so it's not around the block, but we met. And we traded sessions. I gave her a vibrational sound therapy and she gave me a beautiful Reiki energy session. And we wanted to share the experiences because, I'm kind of at least in this incarnation, I'm a relatively new energy worker, sound healer. I've only been doing it for about 2 years or so now. So I feel like I'm learning on the job kind of, and some people are like, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You should know already. But most people who are into this realm of energy work will tell you that it's always, and we were just discussing this, you are learning constantly because it's not something that you can go to a book or a university and get a degree in.
Nor would you really want to, in my opinion. I mean,
right.
It's we all have gifts. You just said you feel like, everybody's an energy worker. And yeah, I agree. I'm a Reiki master teacher, but I studied it and I use that as one of the tools I use when I'm doing energy work. But yes, we're all made of energy. Everything is vibration. And, people can certainly take the time to get in touch with their own energy system and energy flowing through them. And understanding how, our own energy system, how it's important for energy to flow. But, to flow clearly and freely. But it's like anything, it's just like life. I mean, life's an experience. We never get it done, I think, until we leave this particular incarnation. So, everything is experiential. Everything is for learning. And you can't necessarily go to a book and study it all the way without experiencing it because everybody's gifts are different and your body and your gifts are ultimately your tools. So, and the thing of it is, which is so beautiful too, because we're all energetic, even the ways we work with other people, we're, combining our energy with their energy as well too. And you probably know when you're working on somebody who's kind of, not as open as others, it'll be a different experience. That's not a put down judgment or a blame me kind of thing. It's just an experience. It's different. And, when you and I traded sessions, we're both energy workers and it was, very powerful. And there was a level of trust. And, you also I don't think anybody would want to go to somebody ever that they don't, you have to trust yourself and you have to, go to somebody that you were
use your discernment. Sure.
Yeah.
And if you can trust a person or not. you feel it. And I think that's a piece of it. We're not taught, trained it, to trust ourselves. It's not modeled for us as children. Our parents are, were inculcated into this paradigm where you always look outside of yourself
Yeah. Yep.
for
Yep.
affirmation and approval. And we've got to start bringing that back to ourselves.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's such an inversion here, right? We keep like coming across this, and it hits me again as you're saying that. And it is inverted. We're somehow made to believe that we should trust everything outside of us, and then we lose trust because people disappoint us, because no one's ever going to behave exactly how we want
No,
them to
people
behave.
will invariably disappoint.
Yeah.
Right?
And the trust needs to be inside, like you said, trust yourself and trust in source. And that's where the trust has to be.
Right. So it's very, I'm just so grateful and just in awe of the experiences that I've been having, the one with you, meeting you, and just with my clients and with other people who have worked on me and have shared things with me in my sound baths. It's amazing. And it's opening up a whole new world, shall we say, it's opening up new worlds.
Yeah. Yes, new worlds for sure. Yeah.
So, so it's really, it's amazing. So anyway, would you mind, sort of give me a little feedback on what you felt during the sound therapy, and then I will certainly happily, describe mine with you.
Yeah. So, I know you and love you, and you and I have done a couple of sound bath meditation experiences before. So, and they were virtual, and still, even what I experienced from your sound bath was phenomenal. And you have this incredible gift of your voice. And so, you not only are working with sound bowls, but just this incredible gift you have. When you start using your voice, I'm like buzzing. Like I'm just, it's an incredible experience. Ruth, you really have such a gift. And so when I had gone, so when you were giving me your sound healing session, as you know, I really didn't feel well. So we start the session, and first of all, your space itself is it's just good energy. People, energy healers space, I believe, when you walk in, I hate the word should, but I do think it's a good thing to feel that kind of good energy when you walk in, and you certainly do. And it's a beautiful space, and I'm just laying down, just so relaxed with the beautiful bowls, and sound healing is really incredible. And I'm so happy to see this coming out more and more and more, because there's so many different modalities of healing, right, as we know, and that have been put down as quackery, or God knows what else, to push people away from these incredible modalities that put bodies back in alignment with their natural healing ability. Bodies were made to heal, and we take in everything we think, feel, experience, trauma, everything into our bodies, into the water in our body, into our blood, our cells, our bodies, our muscles, everything. We take in everything into our bodies. And so when the session started, I just, moved right into deep relaxation. You're wonderful at what you do. And what really, I went on a journey, and it was interesting because I'm an energy worker as well. I could see my own energy field, and I could see the right side of my body wasn't intact. Well, it wasn't the way it was supposed to be. And so the right side of our body is the masculine side, but it's also kind of more the outer stuff. Left side is feminine and kind of more the inner stuff. So right as I'm seeing this, next thing, then there you go, right to my left side. You were, I think, down to my right leg at that point with the bowls. And so, I'm like, yeah, we're right on, she's right in there. We're on the same page. We can see the same thing. It's a very deep healing experience. And I was shown energetically what was the cause of my not feeling well. And a lot of stuff for us, it's deep. We will continually attract situations and people and things into our experience, until we until we get what it is we're supposed to be learning from something, especially if it's a pattern that keeps showing up, and it's something that's maybe not leaving us feeling very good, or just maybe not the highest vibration experience. I'll say that.
Right.
So I was really not only shown what the energetic present cause of what was going on, but I was just shown, I mean, it was an incredible experience. I just was shown so many different things in my life, and memories came up, and pictures and things that were really kind of teaching me, what led up to that, some of the origins of, why maybe I was attracting certain things or experiences or people. Again, when you use your voice, it's just otherworldly. I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, it's just, that's where it's at. And, the fifth chakra is such creative energy. And so it also creates a space for healing, created a space for me to be in touch with, my own healing process. Right. And that's what we're doing as energy workers, is bringing people's bodies back into that homeostasis, back into that place where bodies were made to self-heal. And when the session was done, I felt fine. My stomach did not hurt anymore. I was like so much more grounded. I felt a world of difference than from when I came and when the session started. And it was incredible. It was incredible. I can't wait to do it again.
Oh, that's so great. That's wonderful. Yeah, it's interesting because when I've done it myself, same thing you were talking about, you get these, you can feel and see your brain sort of in your third eye or whatever, or just, in your mind's eye, you can see your mind processing things that you haven't thought about in decades. And you're like they're like little vignettes that are going on in your mind, and then poof, then it's gone, poof, then it's gone. And I have heard this so many times from people, from my clients, that I know there's like it's like an energetic, it's being cleared out, and that's what people will say. I feel like I'm being cleaned out, and they will come out of the session feeling so much lighter. Because what we were talking about, like even our last conversation about the sacred geometry, is that sound reforms matter, and sound reforms matter in beautiful geometric patterns. So like we're talking about the study of cymatics, which is the study of how sound affects matter, and that the bowls, the crystal metal bowls, my voice, all interact with your body on a cellular level, and are reforming that matter into beautiful geometric patterns, which literally is clearing out and lining you back up again. So it's like bringing you back to your factory reset. That's what I would say.
Yep. Yeah. Bringing you into alignment, bringing you into that's kind of, my mission as a coach and an energy healer, bringing people back into alignment with their true essence and with their source.
Yes. It's fascinating. And as just to say quickly, as this journey for me is really including me accepting and honoring and fully embracing my voice as a gift of healing. For myself as well. And helping other people with it as well. But that's been hard for me because I was classically trained from the time I was a teenager. And I love singing. I was a voice teacher. I was a performer for decades. And but I was always like trying to, use my voice in a certain way. That was very difficult for me to start playing around with making organic primal soundings. But that has opened up yet a whole other vista, a whole other world, to releasing trauma held in the body, and that's being studied now, which I'm so excited about. And that's why I have an offering called Primal Voice that works with sound healing and voice work to release trauma, release the held trauma, so they can take the weight, the what they've been hanging on to unnecessarily that isn't serving them.
Yes, yes, and on that primal level too, we're not only carrying our own stuff from this lifetime, we're carrying ancestral lines of trauma and stuff. And it's my belief that we all came here at this time to heal some of this for a very grand ascension of humanity. And when we do our own work, we're also doing our part to heal the collective too, because all of our own personal stuff, everything's energy. It vibrates out and ripples out into the collective. And so, sometimes people, what can I do? And they want to do things on this big scale and don't realize that, really all we have to do is our work, our own work. That's all we have to do. And that's all we can do.
So after Heather had her session, I had my session, and wow. Honestly, I've had Reiki before, and I was always like, okay, that was nice. That was really nice. I honestly didn't really feel much. I know it's a very subtle, energy work is sometimes very subtle. Sometimes the bowls are very subtle with people. It depends upon your level of, like you say, your allowance to it, right, as well. So I was on the table, and Heather was working, very subtly, and it was like I was in this cocoon of energy, and it was like shimmering. And the shimmer, as we moved along in the session, the shimmer moved into my body, and it was creating these like vibrations, these shimmering, almost like goosebumples. Did I say that? I like that. Goosebumps.
Yeah, I do too, actually. I think goosebumples is great because it's actually a nicer word than goosebumps or goose pimples. So I'm so on board with that, goosebumples. Yeah.
Goosebumples.
Yeah, I mean.
Down, like when she was working on certain parts of my body, she was communicating with me and saying, you're a little blocked here, and then I'd feel when she was working on me, I'd feel these goosebumples of energy vibrating down my leg, and then she'd do the other side, and you were saying all these beautiful things about my energy and what you saw. That was just so affirming to me. It was just so beautiful, and it just made me feel more than I feel more than I am. There was it was like it elevated me. There was an elevation, a higher, working with a higher vibe, as it were, in a different way. Even though you weren't working with sound, it doesn't matter. It's all vibration, right? Yeah. So I felt like my vibration was being elevated, and I started to have these tremors, like my whole body was vibrating, but I started, towards the end of the session, I think it was the end of the session or 3/4 of the way, I was just shaking, and it was like my body was like a response to the energy that was moving through me, and probably energy, I would assume that it was also being energy, not good energy that wasn't serving me anymore, being released, and I felt so much in here, so much in my chest. It was almost like, oh, it's going to burst out, but in a good way, But I felt, it was like, I just about wanted to jump off the table. So it was relaxing, but very energizing in another way. And I have never have felt that amount of an experience, that very strong experience. It wasn't like, I think I feel something. No, it was like, wow. So, and it could be, as we were saying before, the fact that we are both open to this. I really think the openness, the allowance of it has such a, not to discount it, like, oh, that's a bunch of shit, it's the allowing and the belief, the trusting that yes,
Yep.
there's something else going on here, and I want some of that. I want that. It feels really cool because I know that this is not who I am in my entirety. It's part of me. Yes, it's a part of me for sure. I love my body. It does, but it's not the whole picture.
Oh.
I love the iceberg, right? You ever see that picture of the iceberg?
Yeah.
With the with the water, and then you see
Yeah.
the little tip sticking out, and then the rest of it's all underneath. And we're the tip right now in this, but there's so much more. So that's what this is all. This work um, is doing for me, is showing me that I am so much more. Than
Yes.
I am.
Yeah, yeah. And I love what you said about the allowing, because that really is important. I think sometimes we try to, hold it in or hold it together or think we can control things, and just, being open to an experience, or just even being open to letting go. I mean, so often we're not even, consciously intending to let go. And we don't know that we can do that, or that it's that easy, or how powerful our intentions are. But even coming into an energy work session, with that open intention of like, I'm ready to receive, I'm ready to let go of what's not working, even that, because we're in charge of our own energy system, and that's responding to, what's going on up here, and, moving that into just, I'm gonna just open my heart to this experience and, receive this healing, and even having the intention of saying, I want to raise my vibration, because when we're doing that, when we're being conscious of that, and we're choosing things to raise our vibration, or allowing, an energy work session of any kind, then when our vibration is raising, there's higher energies coming, and the denser energies need to go. There's not, and make room for the higher energy. I think that everybody should get some energy work at least once a week. I clear and ground every single day.
Yes.
And especially right now. I mean, right now, the energies are wild. Besides the fact of the collective energies that are everything at the surface right now, there are literally new energies coming into this planet, and we are preparing, I believe, to be able to harness this kind of unconditional love, and that has not really been the overarching vibration here on this planet for a long time.
Well, yeah, the Schumann resonance, which is the resonance of the earth, it has been spiking hugely for probably a couple of years now, right? I mean, it's really just seems like even more so now.
Yeah.
My husband and I both feel that. There's a place where you can go, online and see live a graph and show it live. And I'm always like, okay, I feel weird. Why do I feel weird? Check the Schumann. Oh, there it goes. Or I'm not sleeping well at night. And I think it's very important for us to, do that self-care, like you said, especially if you're in that field. And even if you're not, it doesn't matter. I go outside in bare feet and ground. Next to my tree, I have a beautiful, the trees I love, and tree energy is so wonderful for us.
Yes.
And so healthy and grounding for us. And just to connect our electrical energy to the earth. I mean, and that's getting the ions, because you're actually completing the circuit of your body when you go out in bare feet.
Yep.
And that's our shoes are all made of plastic now, so it's not a good conductor of electricity. And this is science. This is not woo-woo. It's science. And even the energy work that we do, it's science. There's so much more science out there now about sound healing and vibration.
Yep.
And that brings me to our next thing I wanted to talk about, which was a cool thing, I think, is scalar energy. That's like popping into my head a lot lately.
Scalar energy is kind of the absolute light energy that it comes from whatever the source of the original creation is. Like, that's scalar energy. And I do use it as well when I do healings. I use it for remote healings as well. And it is, everything intentionally too when you're doing energy work, but just kind of that energy that's the absolute, again, it's beyond the duality of dark light, and it's very healing, and it's usually can be felt too when you're intentionally using scalar waves. And that, yeah, just that it's the kind of the, I don't want to say the next level of healing, but I think the more that we learn, the more that we're being opened up to, and the more that we're raising our vibration, we're able to embody some of this stuff and understand it and learn it now and work with it, whereas maybe prior to that, like we were talking about the vibration raising and new energies and the vibration on the planet raising, and so this seems to kind of be this next, there's life force energy, we know that we've people, that's the key in Reiki, chi, prana, all that, and this to me is almost kind of like next level healing quantum energy.
Yes. Yeah, there's another, and I'm pretty sure that the quantum physicists are sort of working away at that, because they also, I've heard about, I've read a couple things here and there about how it's still hard to put your finger on, they're still having a hard time quantifying and defining. Here's something that I just found a piece, a few sentences from my channeling that describes, I think, a little bit. It says, scalar energy is like little filings, little tiny branches that are much smaller than any known universal quantity. It is almost imperceptible. It is so subtle, but it is extremely important to the cohesiveness of creation. It is like the glue that holds everything together. It is the bridge, the connection between the frequencies and the denser tissues of the body. It also serves as a glue-like matrix substance that connects the energy bodies to the levels, to one another, and to the physicality. I don't know if that made sense, but it is light in its purest form and its smallest form. It is unmeasurable and unfathomable.
Well, that's the thing. So I have so much in response to that. First of all, that, we always, in order for anybody to believe anything, you got to quantify and qualify and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, sometimes there just has to be some faith and some feeling. And when you were reading that, I think you were sending them right out, because I could feel them very much so when you were reading that.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's incredible. We're such powerful beings. And I don't just mean me and you. I mean, we.
No, we, the collective we.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And there are forces that would have us believe otherwise. And it's not true. We're very powerful. We don't have to look so far outside of ourselves, and it doesn't mean like, and it doesn't mean, that we can't have help for one another, because we of course are here to help one another too. But, I was thinking before when you were talking, that the healers need to be healed too. Everybody needs this kind of work. And I go along, I'm always on the giving side, for lack of a better word, of the energy work. But gosh, when I received that's so important for me too. I'm still on my journey. I'm not, a perfect omniscient being. I'm a human being right here, right now. And so, it is important, because, the work put me into the place where I needed to be within, but, that was somebody else helping me get there through a gift. So, it's those subtle differences of, yes, it is the inner journey, but, we can still help one another get to that place within, and remembering how extremely powerful we are. We really are.
I often wonder if I'll see, more. I mean, we're already seeing, we're at the beginning, here in this lifetime. But I often wonder, what will come to pass before I pass. I hope we're going to see a lot more. I think we will. A lot more people are fascinated by this. There's so many more wellness centers, spiritual centers opening up. There's so many more people sound healing, Reiki, my God, it's like through the roof. People are crazy about learning about all this stuff, and tarot and psychic abilities, and it's like the interest in it is just skyrocketing, and that's so wonderful.
Yeah, it is. I know I've had that thought too, because I know there's, things are shifting and things are changing, and we all just have to keep our our eyes on the prize and keep our focus on solutions and on what does our heaven on earth look like and how can I stay connected to source, and we're all doing our part to keep this beautiful momentum going. And I've had that thought too. I know it's shifting, and I hope I get to see it in my lifetime. I do think I will, and I know I'm here to be a part of it. And I take that direction from source and figure out where I am to serve and do my work. And
yeah, and even if we don't see it, we'll see it in here.
We'll from the other side.
And we'll still be helping. We'll all be helping. So yeah, it was great. It was really great, Heather. Thank you so much for sharing that, sharing all your wonderful words of wisdom and of experience with us. And I'm just so grateful to know you, to have met you and to know you and to collaborate with you. So Heather and I will probably over the winter, maybe we'll possibly do another Zoom or two, right? So
yeah.
People want to check out your website or my website and join up. You can certainly join our mailing list and find out when that's going to be. So,
and thank you too. I love you as well, and I'm very grateful to know you and to be able to experience your beautiful gifts and your beautiful energy. So thanks for speaking with me and having me on today. And my website is healing.family.
And Heather, much love to you.
Thank you, my friend. Namaste.
So much. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.